Now that I've gone through why I scan negatives the way I do, how I scan them, and how I process those scans, I thought I'd add an epilogue that answers the question, was it all worth it? For me, absolutely. And not just because the images look great, but also because this process isn't just about digitizing my film, it's about preserving a legacy. When I decide to capture images on film, unless I want to stay strictly analog and work only in an optical darkroom, which I neither have nor have access to, those negatives need to be digitized. I initially outsourced this process because 1, it was easier, and 2, it seemed less expensive, at least at first. Outsourcing came with its own set of challenges. If I wanted more control, consistency, and creative freedom, I realized it was something I needed to bring in-house and do myself. When I photograph a wedding or an engagement session, that's all digital. I take those raw files and process them using all of the tools at my disposal in Lightroom and Photoshop, using both native tools and plugins designed to do specific things. There's seemingly no end to the options available to adjust color, tonality, and for retouching. I want to make my photographs look the way I want them to look. When I shoot film, I still want the resulting images to look like my own. The only way to really do that is to do as much of the process myself as I can. I do it all with my digital images, so why not the same with film? That may at some point involve developing my own negatives, but I'm not there yet. So, using the Veloy EZ35 and EZ120 to camera scan my negatives, using Negative Lab Pro within Adobe Lightroom Classic, and then using whatever retouching methods I might use at that point, all of that leans into that philosophy. To some people, there might be a disconnect in using modern tools when working with an analog medium. To me, there's no issue. I feel I can honor that analog legacy of cameras and lenses and film using modern digital tools. Starting my capture with a physical analog tool and then finishing it with very modern digital methods is both valid and, in my opinion, acceptable. Simply using a film camera isn't an end unto itself. It's part of an overall workflow, if not a philosophy. Starting with a physical medium like film, whether you're using a more modern SLR, a point and shoot from the 80s, or something vintage, it's all part of the legacy that goes back roughly 2 centuries. Digital is just the most recent chapter in that legacy. I have no issue with digitizing my negatives because I think that in the end, that results in a higher quality image. Physical negatives, not unlike a digital RAW file, contain a lot of information. Modern tools allow us to make use of that information in a way that older analog processes couldn't. Photographers in the 1800s or early 1900s or through the 1980s were limited by the technology of their time. When you're in the middle of it, you might not realize it's a limitation. I have every expectation that we're going to look back on what we're able to do with images now and think to ourselves how primitive we were back then when we only had access to those tools. The benefits of digitizing our images are easy to state. We can do so at higher resolutions than ever before. We can non-destructively edit our scans. We have complete control over every aspect of the image. And I think most importantly, we're archiving our work. For me, that's the big one. Obviously, being able to make my photographs look the way I want them to look is important, but creating a digital archive that can be backed up and saved not only locally but also in the cloud protects the legacy of the decades of film negatives I have. Unfortunately, catastrophic things can occasionally happen. Fires and tornadoes and floods can wipe out your entire physical archive. If it's backed up, especially offsite with a cloud service, should the worst happen, you still have those years' worth of memories. I've been pretty good with this since the pandemic. All my negatives prior to that, though, going back to childhood, are still in shoeboxes and totes waiting to be digitized. It's an overwhelming amount to consider, and since I have an ongoing number of weddings and portraits and commercial work, the majority of which is shot digitally, I wish I could say I knew when I'd be able to get to that scanning backlog. We all have those projects that we want to work on but somehow never seem to be able to get to. Maybe that's a topic for another video. What I don't want to do in digitizing my negatives is undo the reasons I'm shooting film in the first place. If I choose a low ISO film or a high ISO film or one with a particular grain structure, I want the characteristics of those choices to be part of the final image. For example, I'm not going to run noise reduction on 3200 speed film. I chose that speed for a reason. I specifically want the look that shooting that kind of film creates. Similarly, I don't want to radically change the color of a given film because, again, I chose that film for that particular characteristic. With digital capture, you could easily take anything and make it dark and moody or light and airy, or even keep it true to life or true to color. True, you can do this with film as well, but you do it to take advantage of those limitations, not in spite of them. All that to say, if you're paying attention to your work and your process, your approach will evolve as you gain more experience and better your craft. Whether you shoot film or digital, the combination of different cameras and different lenses have unique characteristics. Add into that the variety of film stocks you can play around with, and you have a never-ending array of variables to see what works best for you. A different tool may give you a different result, the results of which you can lean into and learn to develop. But more than simply getting new gear, it's your experience with it and your experience with how the combination of camera, lens, maybe film, and post-production that come together to create something that's true to your vision and your aesthetic. If you've been following along with my film scanning series, from gear and setup to processing and workflow, thanks for sticking with it. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to digitizing your film? Or if you found a workflow that helps you accomplish what you've set out to do, what's made it click for you? Thank you for watching. I appreciate your spending a few minutes with me. If you like this kind of video, please like and subscribe. This is Ask a Wedding Photographer. I'm Seth K, and I'm here to help. For me, that's the big one. Obviously being able... Well, excuse you. What you doing, Mr. Cat? What are you doing? Come on. Come on, Mr. Man. Come on. Oh, I'm going to pick you up. Oh, hello. Say hi to the people. Say hello. Oh, look who's struggling to get away. Oh, he doesn't like to be held. Oh, my goodness. How long is he going to put up with it? Here we go. Down he goes. Oh.